All right, it's time to meet the teams in today's competition. As I call your name, we'll ask you to just please stand where you are and be recognized and wave to all your fans, okay? We'll start with Hyde Park Middle School, Team 1A, Logo Tech. Team 1B, The Unknown. Team 1C, Swagger and Company. Team 1D, Brain Corporation. Team 1E, Quirk. Team 1F, Technos. Team 1G, the Robotic Unicorns. Team 1I, Comeback. Team 1J, Titanium. Team 1K, Bomb Squad. Team 1L, the Robocons. Team 1M, Fusion Corp. Now I want to make sure I'm pronouncing this correctly. If I'm not, you just holler at me. Team 1N, Platypie. Is that right? It's Platypie? All right. Team 1O, Blue 6 Incorporated. Team 1P, Gear Corp Robotics. And Team 1Q, Lego Squad. Those are all the teams from Hyde Park Middle School. All right, we're moving on to Sunrise Mountain. Team 2A, Tectonics. Team 2B, Formula X15. And we're honored to have a couple of teams from Ridgecrest, California. Ridgecrest High School, Team 3A, The Matrix. Team 3B, the Rabid Elephants. I would not want to run into a rabid elephant. Now we move on to Findlay Middle School. Team 5A, Triple Corp. And Team 5B, the Spicy Pharaohs. Now we move on to Lee Middle School. Team 9A, J-Card Robotics. Team 9B, Carrier Drone Incorporated. We want to thank our host facility, Faith Lutheran Middle School, with a team in the competition today. Team 10A, the Faith Crusaders. And Agassiz Prep Middle School, Team 11A, Supernova. And Team 11B, Pulsars. How about a hand for all of our teams competing today? So, none of this could happen without a whole lot of volunteers. No organization can function without the support of volunteers, so here, giving up their spare time to help STEM education, helping out in all the positions on game day. Team members, as you go through the competition today and you run into some of our volunteers, we hope you take a moment to say thank you because they gave up their spare time to be here today. Can we give all of our volunteers a round of applause, please? But there are some businesses in our community that have really stepped up to the plate, and we want to give them their recognition. Sponsors include Nevada Alliance for their generous cash contribution, the Desert Research Green Box Program, their community helping STEM in the classroom. And try to limit your crazy applause, but we do have to thank our lunch vendor, Buffalo Wild Wings, providing lunch today. Well, we want just as much enthusiasm, if you can muster it, for our other sponsors today too. Global Robot and Drone Development for their help in training our students. The Federal Aviation Administration's Know Before You Fly program for guidance in safety, thanks to the FAA. And we have a photographer who's going to be out and about around the competition, maybe even stopping into the pit at times. We want to say thank you to Audrey Dempsey, Infinity Photo. There she is. Thanks also to the Academy of Model Aeronautics for their program in model aircraft operations and safety. Give it up for Academy of Model Aeronautics. And this next sponsor has a table over in the pit area. Friendly Hobbies, supporting education programs. I'm guessing that a lot of you students are familiar with our next sponsor, and they've also provided our co-MC for today, First Nevada, for their cooperation in supporting Skybot and Olmsted programs, the robotics competitors, Paul McDowell and First Robotics. We also want to thank Full Spectrum Laser for making the trophies and plaques today. Now the organization behind the competition today wanted to thank a company for their support for all of their paperwork. Wallen Incorporated, thank you for supporting the program. And one of our teams stepped up and gave some cash to the program. We want to thank Team 1J Titanium. Thank you for supporting the program. Now, a lot of you may be familiar with what we're doing today, but you may not know so much about how it all got started. We're going to bring up a fellow that I think you all know. He's the executive director, co-founder of the Skybot Challenge, coordinated all the volunteers, wrote all the documents. It is his leadership that has allowed the competition to stay on point, to produce and get to where we are today. Give it up for Steve Curtis.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate all of that. I just want to go through some of the special people who have really helped us out today. But first of all, I want to make an appeal to all of you. This is the most amazing group. You saw me running around today, and we were trying to put together the teams that are going to judge and the people that are going to support the field today. And we've had people right from the audience step up. So if you're interested in helping Skybot Challenge in any capacity, we're ready to take this to the next level, but we need about 8 to 10 more people to help us with specific committee assignments. So if you're ready to do that, please talk to any one of us, Al, Oliver, myself, any one of us, and we can get you going on something that can really help us out. Okay, our Skybot committee board is an amazing group. They just stepped up automatically, recruited none of them, they just came. And so all the people you see here are just totally dedicated and put countless hundreds of hours into making this happen. So when you see them around today, again, please thank them, okay? First of all, I want to thank Emily Blank and Scott Fogo of Faith Lutheran, because look at this great facility that we have to compete in today. This is just unprecedented that we were able to use this wonderful facility. So let's give it up for Faith Lutheran Middle and High School. Okay, I'm going to read a list of people that I want to thank for a tremendous lot of work. Less than 2 years ago, this August it'll be 2 years, this gentleman and I sat over a cup of coffee to Starbucks and said, wouldn't it be great if we could do something like this, okay? So, Ed Patrick's, I want to bring Ed Patrick's up. I guess most of you guys know him. Challenge and helped us do the first entire year of Skobot Challenge with his robotics teams. You can see most of the teams here are numbered 1, which is Hyde Park. So Ed has executed his calling as an educator to prepare and inspire students to compete in Skybot Challenge. He has spent many off-duty hours planning, coordinating public outreach and community service projects. He really is the inspiration behind Skybot Challenge. One more time, Ed Patrick. Let's give it up. Now another guy who's given up an unbelievable amount of time, and anything you see that has to do with the technical aspect of Skybot is his responsibility. I'd like to get Al Thomas. He might be in the exploration room, but Al Thomas is the chairman of the board for Skybot Challenge and the technical director for the competition today. There he is. Okay, and he actually was the one that worked the autonomous portion of this. He worked a lot of hours with the Gilbert Elementary School kids to see the presentation you saw today. It's just amazing. He taught the nuances of flying. He's performed many workshops, and I frankly don't know how he does it, but he's going to need most of the help. So if you guys out there want to do some technical support for this, we need mentors, we need workshop purveyors, things like that to bring this to the next level. Al's the guy to talk to, and he'll train you how to do all this stuff, and he's probably the best technical guy for any kind of aviation or drone stuff here today. Next up is Oliver Hemmers. Please give it up for Oliver Hemmers. And Oliver's one of those guys that works behind the scenes to make sure the business aspects of this done. If any of you have ever tried to start a nonprofit organization or to keep it going, you know that it's a tremendous lot of effort just for paperwork, talking to the state, getting the taxes done, all that stuff. And Oliver's the guy that's arranged that for us to be done. Catherine Schell. Where's Catherine? Hey, Catherine, there she is. Catherine is our public affairs person, and she actually does not even live here, so anything you see that has to do with publicity, Catherine has done from the great, I don't know what we call it, it's not a state, but she's from Washington, D.C. She's going to come back here one day and join us in the great state of Nevada, but she's doing all this remotely, so give it up for Catherine Schell. And Seth Welday was not able to be here with us today, but he's put a bunch of hours in helping out on the technical side, getting some of the stuff done for our course. He was logistic coordinator for our last competition, so let's give it up for Seth. Okay, James Rowley. Where's James? Come on out, James. He's the man behind the scenes. He's the guy behind the curtain. James has produced all of the software you see today. He's produced all of the automation that our competition has been able to put on. James is a senior at Rancho High School, and he has worked a lot of time to put these things together. Now, being a senior, he's going away next year, okay? So, any of you guys out there, Sunrise Mountain, that want to take this over and move it, we are happy to bring you into the fold, okay? Thank you, James. Let's give it up for James again. And speaking of Sunrise Mountain, Ben, would you stand up, Ben Wynn? As you can see, a very popular teacher over at Sunrise Mountain High School has been the genesis for this whole program. He's put together all the targets and all the things you see on the field today. They've done a lot of background support with their team at Sunrise Mountain High School, and he's really the backbone of our board for technical support. Call on Ben, and he just gets it done. It's amazing. So let's give it up for Ben Wynn. Marty Waldman's also on our board. Marty's always volunteered to help in any way he can. He has served as logistical lead and is instrumental in the technical aspects and design of Skybot Challenge. Let's give it up for Marty Waldman right there. Gabriel Quiroz. Gabriel has worked tirelessly. He's at UNLV right now. He's moving on. He's got about another year before he gets his master's degree. Come on, Gabriel. Show him who you are. And he's just a great inspiration to students. Has done a lot for the workshops, a lot for publicity, and things like LV Up and the outreach community. So without Gabriel, we would not be nearly as far as we are. And we are very, let's give it up for Gabriel one more time. Really, Gabriel. So Mark Omo, come on up, Mark. Show everybody who you are. Mark Omo was a truly inspirational, a product of Rancho High School last year. He's now back from his first year of college at University of Arizona, but here he is today doing a lot of background work for Skybot Challenge. And Mark's another brilliant computer scientist that's just done everything. Thanks, Mark. Okay, I want to bring you star of stage and screen and one of the finest people I know, Nate Tannenbaum.
Thank you. My agent, Steve Curtis. Well, that's wonderful that we got all these behind-the-scenes people. Now we want you to give it up for the judges today. Now stop and think about what's going on here. These are competitions that have really never taken place before. These judges have the most difficult volunteer job. They do listen to the presentations that the student teams have made. They've got the difficult job of determining the winners in 9 different categories today. Judges, we want you to stand up and be recognized. Where are our judges today? That's what I'm talking about. So let's go back in time just a moment. Where did the Skybot Challenge come from? Steve and Mr. Patricks talked about it. The concept originated from Mr. Patricks, the Hyde Park lead teacher at the Math and Science Magnet. Steve, involved in FAA, UAS test site designations here in Nevada. Now they've done some stuff in the past promoting STEM issues, and they, as Steve said, they were talking about how can we make a drone competition. They wanted to imagine the amazing people that you heard about before, and 50 other volunteers helping out here on game day. So they had a bunch of meetings, they worked with their colleagues, and there's a lot of thought that goes into not just the actual competition. There's a principle behind the entire Skybot Challenge. They kind of looked to previous competitions involving robotics because they liked the idea of professional and community support and learning to work together. And they want those to be stressed as much as the technical development and how well the students perform during the actual competition. So there's more to what we're doing here. From concept to fruition, this has all happened in just about a year. We had a pilot competition last year. Y'all were, how many of you were at Hyde Park last year? Oh, the students from Hyde Park were there last year. Imagine that. So that's why Hyde Park is team number 1 in the Skybot Challenge. There were 21 teams, 140 students from Hyde Park last year. Well, this year we talked about the teams from Nevada. We have some kids here from Reno. We have kids from Ridgecrest, California. And eventually the master plan, Mr. Curtis and Mr. Patrick's, is to expand Skybot to use 3D printing and robotics part kits. Would that work for you guys? Well, we've already got registration open for next year through the end of the year. They're going to define the competition like this year's competition, so next year's will be different. They're going to put that together by July 1. They're going to have kits available for next year in September. The competition will be in the spring of 2017, and the finals will be a year from now. But for the following years, Skybot is going to be franchised, and it will be taking place all over America, and it started right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. But Steve and Ed have made a vow. No matter how big Skybot becomes all over the country, and we're pretty sure that it will, the finals will always be held here in Las Vegas, Nevada. World headquarters of the Skybot Challenge. Grrr! But you know what? We're going to need your help. We're happy that you're here. We're glad that you're helping out and that Skybot has skyrocketed. Thank you. Thank you. I don't write them. I just read them. But to make this work, we need your help. If you're passionate about STEM education, if you're passionate about helping students develop their engineering, design skills, we need you. All you have to do is say, I'm ready. Talk to any one of these folks here and say, you have inspired me. I want to help. Let us know. Leave your business card. Nothing's too